several nights lately where I had little or almost no sleep. I usually already envision myself being grumpy and unsocial the very next day. All the possible unpleasant consequences started to obliterate my mind. And yesterday, however, was a different story. An idea from the past that I had heard about from a gentleman called Owen Cook has come to rescue me. And I'll be probably uh, butchering his initial presentation, but nonetheless, I hope I'll find a way to give you the gist of it. So here it comes. Do what works, but if that's not realistic and if you find yourself not being able to pull it off, try to do what you understand to be the next best thing. Applying it to my sleep issue situation, I experimented with two options: calmly accepting the possibility that I may not sleep at all, or that I actively try to stay awake while still lying in the bed. It took me about 15 minutes, and then I eventually have managed to fall asleep after all. You can use this principle in many other daily activities. For example, in meditation, if you struggle with having intrusive thoughts culminating in your head and you're also tense about not being present, you can just say to yourself, I'm going to be simply sitting here, not being present. Not being present is the new standard. And 15 minutes in, you may actually wind up in a nice meditative state. What about exercise? You wake up in the morning, you feel tired, stiff, and most of the time you snuggle back into your cozy bed. Well, screw that. Feeling tired and stiff are the new ways to go about doing things. They are the new standards. So you drag yourself through the first few minutes of your workout, and progressively you will feel much more energized, much more flexible, and overall in a much more greater condition. In social situations, the things that seem less awkward are actually more awkward, and vice versa. So it's not a bad thing if we occasionally ask ourselves from time to time this question: am I trying to make this situation less awkward? And if yes, you should probably do the opposite. There is this another beautiful concept invented by Viktor Frankl called paradoxical intention. And it encourages people in engaging behaviors that we fear the most. It helps to change our perspective of our fears and making them less intimidating. It often involves dark humor, and with that, we laugh at the things that make us uncomfortable. You can find out more about that in the book The Man's Search for Meaning from Viktor Frankl. But for now, I would like to reference one specific joke from this particular book. And let me just find it so I don't butcher it as well. Okay, so here it goes. A boy who came to school late excused himself to the teacher on the grounds that the icy streets were so slippery that whenever he moved one step forward, he slipped two steps back again. Thereupon the teacher retorted, "Now, I have caught you in a lie. If this were true, how did you ever get to school?" Whereupon the boy calmly replied, "I finally turned around and went home." When you can't get yourself to reach a certain outcome, consider engaging in the opposite of your initially intended behavior, because you may eventually end up at the spot you have wished to be at all this time. So that's it for today. Stay classy, and I'll see you next time. Take care.